But yeah, basically that's not really how it works. It's about the hormones. So, for example, someone who's been yo-yo dieting, they might be eating 500 calories a day and not losing weight, which straight away ruins that theory. So if they're eating 500 calories a day, how are they not losing weight? It's not just about the energy in and the energy out. Okay, so.
Sorry, but I thought it was good to starve the cells sometimes. The body.
Define.
Like the 5-2 diet, for example.
Can I come back to that at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, so who thinks that eating too much fat will make you fat? Nobody?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it depends on the fat.
Depends on the fat, yeah.
Okay. Who remembers? Yeah. Who remembers being told for many years that if you eat too much saturated fat, you'll get fat?
Yeah. Ignore it.
We all been told that. We all been told that, man.
I think
You ignore it, but you were told it, right?
Yes, yes.
Not true. Seems like everyone seems to know that, which is good. It's took a long time, but it seems to be getting through to people. Alright, so what does make you fat? Anybody?
Coconut oil.
Sugar.
Did you say?
Coconut oil.
No.
Sugar, not coconut oil.
What makes you fat?
Sugar, bread, carbohydrates.
Experimented
What
with
makes
it.
you fat is the burst of insulin in your body unnecessary.
Okay, so
It goes right in your gut. So
carbohydrates cause insulin, right? So now don't think that carbohydrates are evil and you shouldn't eat them. It's not what we're saying. Sorry? Yeah, exactly, you do. Sugar, on the other hand, you don't.
White bread.
Yeah, not white bread. Sugar, not good. So, sugar, as the gentleman mentioned, sugar triggers insulin. Insulin's a fat storing hormone. It tells your body to store fat. Okay? So when you eat lots of sugar, you store lots of fat. Whereas when you eat lots of coconut oil and meat and butter, you don't. Am I telling anybody anything new here?
No.
No.
No. Okay. I won't go through too much then if you already know. The final point, something that we advocate with people is when you're eating the right foods, the calories and how much you're eating and your portions tend to self-regulate. Now calories are still relevant, and if you eat 10,000 calories a day you will gain weight, but it's bloody hard to eat 10,000 calories of meat and broccoli. It's very, very hard. It's easy to eat doing donuts and pizza, but it's very hard to do it in proper food. So
but if
what?
you have a lot of, sorry, but surely if you have a lot of fat, which you eat a lot of fat, which is 10,000 calories.
Your body wouldn't
Surely
eat that much.
Yeah,
It simply wouldn't eat it.
That's what we're saying. You have no desire to eat that much.
Well, no, so you eat
makes
cream.
sick.
Somebody like me, I love cream, I love
So do
butter on bread, I love, what else? I love, that sort of stuff.
But I couldn't eat
I'll tell you, you're not eating
10,000
10,000 calories of cream though.
I couldn't eat 10,000 calories.
No. Wait, what happens is it self-regulates. It's very satiating. You feel full. It's basically because you're actually getting some.
Actually, yeah.
You're getting nutrients. Your body's happy. It's been fed. It's got what it needs. So it shuts off the mechanism that says I'm hungry. I need to eat. So there's all these little switches that are flipped in your brain hormonally. I'm hungry or I'm fed. You're craving food or you're not. Once you've had enough nutrients, you don't crave food anymore and you stop eating. You don't desire to eat. Versus when you keep eating sugar, you're on these blood sugar crashes up and down, you feel full for a little while, and then you crash, and then you need more energy, and you want quick energy, so you grab some sugar. Yeah? You stop eating sugar, it's very self-regulated, you have nice, solid, flat energy, you've always got energy, but it's nice and consistent, you're not up and down and hyper and crashing. Okay?
What about the artificial sugar or natural sugar, like stevia, like silicon or so?
If you're going to use it, then you're going to be cooking yourself, and you're probably going to be making a dessert, and you're probably going to put a sensible amount in. In which case, it's sweeten it, and I would say it's probably fine. It's completely different to people who eat every single meal packed full of sugar, drink Coke all day, and everything is about sugar. When you're cooking fresh food yourself, and it's a minor part of an overall healthy diet, it's not really a big deal. If you're like, if you're getting into like shape to be on the front of a fitness magazine, you might not want to have it. But for normal people, every day, it's like the minor thing. You've got the big things right. You're making your own food. You're eating generally good food. Happy days.
Chocolate.
Yeah,
Dark.
have a bit of dark chocolate. It's great.
Raw chocolate.
Yeah.
Even better. Bloody expensive, but
Delicious.
yeah. There's no reason that you can't. There's no reason that you can't treat yourself. There's no reason to be dogmatic about it and to have to eat perfect all the time. We tend to see that happen a lot every time like the next diet comes out. So there's like the paleo diet and like the 5-2 diet. Every time the next one comes out and it gets big within sort of the mainstream media, there'll be a collective of people who are so dogmatic about it. And it's like 100% it has to be this, has to be this, has to be this. It's just like, it doesn't need to be like that. You have an overall, going back to the first point, this is who I am. I'm a healthy person. I have healthy habits and do generally the right thing. You do generally the right thing. You generally eat well. You generally cook yourself. You want to have a piece of chocolate now and then? Great. Enjoy it. Okay?
My son, he eats sugar non-stop and Coke.
Is he a nightmare?
Yeah.
Yep.
And trying to tell him, I mean, I feel like I'm giving him drugs.
Yeah.
I don't buy it, he brings it in.
How old is he?
He'll have to watch his video, won't he? 23.
Okay. So, at that age,
He's thin.
that's what makes it more difficult actually. When someone is thin, they don't see the damage that they're doing. So they're like, oh, I'm not overweight, so thus I'm healthy. Which is not true. If you're just living off sugar, I'm sure his energy is up and down, he's moody.
Oh. Nightmare.
Exactly. So, but at that age, it's something that he would need to take responsibility for himself. And if somebody's not ready for it and they don't want to do it and they don't have any interest in it, it's very, very difficult to tell them. Again, going back to the first part, this is why we started with the mindset stuff, which people don't always get it straight away, but it underpins everything. So on this point, does your son does he value his health that much? Does he value eating good food? Does he value his health? Does he make an effort with it? No. And until he does, until he feels that, I want to be healthier, I want to make a change, I want to eat well, I want to work out, then he's not going to. And telling him won't make it. Okay? Anything else on food before we move on? No? Cool. Okay, we've probably touched most of this anyway. Does anybody disagree with any of that?
It's quite correct.
Very correct, especially the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Preaching to the choir here then.
Nothing that matters.
Bad, yeah.
I'll skip over most of this then. I'll tell you what we recommend. It's different depending on who it is, but if it's just for general health, and you're say average person, then we would say a paleo-ish diet. So, some dairy is fine for some people. For some people it's not. You need to figure that out for yourself. Like rice is fine, and just not being too dogmatic about it. Fruit is fine, but avoid soy, avoid gluten, avoid sugar, avoid chemicals, additives and crap you can't pronounce, avoid processed food and ready meals and McDonald's, and happy days, you're there. It's the big points are there. Don't worry too much about the minor points.
Black coffee.
Can I just say, endamase, which is soya bean.
Edamame.
I mean, so we love that.
You love them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
It's not good for your thyroid.
I know.
True.
But my
Thyroid,
daughter, but my daughter, she's vegetarian. She doesn't have a problem.
okay.
Is that okay?
Makes
Um,
your thyroid even lower.
I'll let Tim talk about vegetarians in a few minutes because he used to be a vegetarian.
So she'll get out every time.
The grains that are bad for you then.
I would say if you really love it, then have it on occasion if you want to,
White rice.
but understand that it's not great for you.
But the Japanese, they live on this
They
stuff.
only eat fermented.
And
The
they,
Japanese
and
would
they
eat-
look what
They would eat fermented stuff.
They
It's
don't-
We'll
organic.
tell you, we'll come back to this in a minute with
Yeah.
Tim, okay?
Yeah.
They only eat fermented coffee
Um,
and,
So someone mentioned caffeine.
But it's
Uh,
still soya.
Caffeine is, it depends where you're at. If you're healthy, then I think coffee specifically is actually good for you in a reasonable amount. It's not good for you when you use it as a crutch. It's not good for you when you eat crap food and you don't sleep at night and you need it for energy to keep your eyes open, to keep you going. That's not a good use of caffeine. Use it, drink it because you like it. Drink it socially, drink it just because you want to. I think that's fine. It's, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not, caffeine isn't the problem, but it can be abused quite easily. It's not the answer to feeling like crap all the time. You need to go back to the basics of eating some proper food, sleeping, doing some exercise. So what did you say before? No?
Grains.
Grains.
Coffee beans, etc.
Yeah, so grains, basically, it's mainly gluten-containing grains. They mess your guts up, they mess your thyroid up. Your body just does not like them. The best way, I'm not a research doctor, the best way for me to tell you to find this out is to don't eat any for 2 weeks, not at all. Check ingredients, don't have any, and then have a piece of bread or something and see how you react. And when your guts go haywire and you feel horrible, that will probably tell you that they're not very good for you.
I have gluten free.
Okay. We're going to come to that in a minute. But other grains, rice is generally inoffensive. Things like quinoa, I'm not sure if it's technically a grain or not, but all that stuff's great. It's really good. Yeah.
What about rye?
Rye is generally better than wheat because it's not
Because
as
I know for diabetic,
It's
you can eat rye.
yeah.
And it doesn't affect your blood sugar.
Okay.
It doesn't take it
It's-
up. But
it's
with,
generally better than
with
wheat.
It will send it higher.
It's generally better than wheat because it's less processed and less modified,
Yeah.
but it still contains gluten.
What about oats?
White rice is bad then.
White rice is okay. It's not ideal if you try and lose weight.
Yeah, it's like eating loads of sugar, isn't it?
yeah.
Oats, if you get gluten-free oats, they're fine. If you get normal oats, they're usually processed in the same factory as gluten-containing food, so it's cross-contaminated. Personally, I'm intolerant to oats. So there are sometimes some foods are a problem for someone. It doesn't mean the food is bad, it's just how I react to it. In the same way that somebody might be intolerant to tomatoes. Doesn't mean tomatoes are bad.
What about couscous and semolina?
Semolina is a seed, I think, which is fine. Couscous is wheat. So
Couscous is wheat.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure if it is wheat or it has wheat in it, or it's made from wheat, or something, I'm not sure. But it's not great. With grains, especially other grains like rye and things, try them out. We advocate people taking responsibility for themselves. Try things, restrict them, don't have any for 2-3 weeks, none at all, and then eat some and see how you react. If you get bad symptoms, you've got guts, you've got stomach problems, you've got low energy, you've got headaches, you feel lethargic, they're not good for you. If you feel fine, then you're probably okay with it. It's not, it's not about being dogmatic, it's about figuring out what you work well with, what your body likes, what you want to have. So yeah, our basic recommendations is to eat real food, natural food. Meat, fish, eggs, fruit, veg, nuts, seeds, water. okay.
And that's it, isn't it?
Herbs and spices.
What about corn if you're vegetarian?
Again, we'll come to vegetarian at the end.